Hi everyone, welcome to Authentic Ingenuity on Entrepreneur. My name is Mina Crichton. Today is the 26th of April 2025. Okay, so today as usual I will start off with a introduction and then I'll go straight on to what's actually on my topic. I'll try and keep my posting introduction not so long. As I said, sometimes I just, get into a topic and that some of the information that I've got to disclose is actually quite relevant. So we're dealing with intentional crimes, all right? I'm being excelled or isolated and I'm actually used to it, but it doesn't mean that I have accepted it. But I know that I'm actually supposed to be doing this because whoever is allowing this kind of a system to exist is actually breaking the law, okay? Because everything they've done to me is absolutely 100% illegal in any generation. It is a different kind of a global conspiracy of invading a individual's soul, invading their privacy, everything. And then the twinning and the stealing of the energy and deviating it to somebody else. That is all part of what they've done to me. It is definitely a illegal scientific experiment. But this here is basically kind of describes from my point of view as the victim in this matter of what they are actually doing. So everything that I'm doing, I'm trapped, okay? So this could happen to anyone, whether your circumstance is completely different, but it can happen in your home or at work or wherever you may be. Privacy usually means your privacy is gone. So I have tried, I've never really been into social media over the years and only was forced to because I knew my situation was over and above serious. Okay. But this here is the best way to describe what is actually happening to the individual. Everything is negative. And there is somebody else receiving the energy. The thing is there's clear evidence in my case that my life has been used globally by perpetrators I haven't given any permission to. So it makes sense for me to actually do this globally because even if I wasn't doing it, the harassment, the stalking has not changed, meaning somebody internally controlling and manipulating are watching, and they're the ones that is actually responsible for everything else that's happened in my private life and all the abuse and what I've gone through. But this global game is a sport. It's really evil. It's really cunning. And it is killing innocent civilians because they don't even know they're attacked or in trouble, or the member of their family is actually trafficked right under their noses. But this here's the best way to describe it on this poster. When I think back of what I've gone through when I was working for my employer, the Ministry of Justice, for those that don't know what I used to do or new on board, my personal experiences, I worked for the Department of Courts, and then the name transitioned to Ministry of Justice. So I do have quite a bit of experience in the criminal jurisdiction and the civil jurisdiction, and also in other agencies. I've worked for the Department of Courts, just different agencies, but my main field of work and experience comes from working for the courts. But that's my professional background. But as the person, I'm still a human being and I'm still entitled to a private life. So even though I was working, I was very private. So what happened to me, what I'm going through now, hasn't really changed from my point of view, just different people each time, and more difficult for me because they're causing me stress. They're trying to kill me. They're trying to put pressure on me enough to have a heart attack, that kind of thing. So the alliances I'm connected to is negative, or anything that is positive, somebody's gone behind the scene and undermined. Then we have the technology interference in between, and they are secretly, indirectly abusing the victims in their home. So it's a pin down situation. I would classify it as 10 out of a 10, even though it may seem like I'm safe, but it's the personal attacks that makes it dangerous. It's not being able to go forward. It's the personal pain and suffering that comes from it. Those who are responsible for the system behind the scene knows very well that they're just waiting for the victims to actually die, and that is quite evident in my personal profile. So at the end of the day, when a victim is alive or dead, somebody will be made accountable. But I feel that I am supposed to do this publicly, for not only for the sake of myself and the people involved, the originals, and also my court cases, and for those that are actually following me because they believe in the truth and believe in what I'm going through, the things that I'm actually talking about, the things that people are too scared to talk about because they don't want to be cybercrime or cyber bullied. But it's actually not. It's not right to lock people out of, whether they've been locked out of society deliberately or locked out of the government deliberately. That's still wrong. But I can confirm my experience today has not much difference to when I was actually working for the government. It's just a different set of circumstances and different people continuing the same pattern. Okay, so we're dealing with an evil spirit or a positive spirit. So basically, I can confirm that I've actually been subject to a sadistic spirit. It's quite evil. It's got an evil will. I have not been able to go forward because they're in my personal space, and it's the people that are involved are the people that are monitoring me and spying on me, and they are using all their jobs. So I'm taking in the moment evidence every single day. But to me, the reality is what I've gone through today is no different to what I'd gone through when I was working with my employer, the tight criminal stalking that led to the public. I'm actually very lucky to be alive. But you are dealing with a very evil spirit. We're dealing with serial cyber murderers. The whole reason why they're attacking me personally is because of the historical illegal crimes that have committed to me historically, involving other people, whether they've used me for money laundering or have stolen from my bank accounts, which I believe that has happened. And the people I believe that are the defendants are those in public office, those who've worked for government. Maybe they've gone to prison for it, because the old system, the victims of any crime, they get notified if something has happened to them. But what they've done to me, they've used me, they've stolen off me, and instead of treating me like a decent human being and, letting the victims know that, someone's going to jail because of what they've committed, against me or being caught, they use the laws and name suppression to protect their names and then leave the victims to live in limbo. And then we have all these other people joining forces to do the same thing as the person that committed the crime beforehand. But so I am definitely a victim of crimes. I've had to live my life in limbo, and I have not been able to go forward because people are stealing and knowing that, thinking that can get away with it because they're stalking me, they're using gangs, members of the public, they're using their jobs. So that's a very serious predicament. But it's the in between, it's the sinister, it's an ill will, evil alliance where people are doing what they're doing intentionally, locking people out, and then the gangs, a mixture of people globally, are in the middle, just waiting for me to either make the wrong move or for someone to actually murder me. But that is my perspective of how I have been treated and from the things that I've gone through. The other thing I found there's a lot of suffering. Whoever's behind this game is getting a kick out of it. So they've got a very sick mind, but it is a global game, and they're actually getting pleasure out of it, obviously, because this game only survives only if they've got the victims enslaved, in imprisonment, or incarcerated. Okay. But this is the best way to describe the game. The people that are actually using people for a game, they've got a sick mindset. They may have a fetish inclination, getting pleasure out of watching someone else suffer or hurting them. And that's what they're doing. They're actually intentionally hurting the person, either to make them have a heart attack, causing personal stress. So it's immediate, okay? There's sufficient evidence to prove that in my case, because they've intimately done that to me. But then they're using the relationship scam scenario, or anyone that the victim may have romantic feelings for. They're interfering in that and causing deception. And I don't actually know anything more painful than have people interfering in somebody's romantic life, like you fall in love with them and all the rest of it, and then they interfere. But they also do that with your other things, like just the people you love, whether it's your children or just somebody you're close to. But there is clear evidence of personal interference in my private life and everything. And yes, it is illegal. And yes, it is a conspiracy. And yes, those involved can go to prison for it. Okay, so cases like mine, because it had gone on for so long, there's sufficient evidence and blameworthy evidence to actually blame the government. Okay, because it's so serious. Why they haven't done anything about it, like compensate me, even though I've been doing my court cases going on to 9 years, because they don't want to surrender. They don't want to. They're covering up for each other, and basically there's a lot at stake. Obviously, money. Okay, definitely, I'm worth a lot of money. Legally, by law, it belongs to the victim of crimes. It doesn't belong to the members of the family or anyone else. It belongs to the victim if they're alive. So that's why they compensate them. So the reason why the government hasn't done anything, it's because it's internal corruption, and they know they're in the wrong. Then they do all what they're doing to me with all these surveillance. They think I'm safe, but other people in the middle are actually trying, making life a living hell, hurting the victims, persecuting them, and just making their life a living hell. They're blacklisted on a black market. Then we get people globally taking advantage of victims. And yes, they are secretly stealing off us. So they're stealing off innocent civilians because they know that the government's not going to do anything about it. Because, whoever is behind it, they only need one person that is corrupt to do, to allow these things to happen. However, it is a criminal conspiracy, and there's sufficient evidence as far as my case is concerned to prove that that I've been used for human lottery and other very serious culpable homicide offences. Okay, so what happens with those inside public office? If you watch all my other videos, they go to prison for a very long time. I'm going to try and keep that down, because if you want to watch all that, my video clips is actually really good. The real life case and the laws reflecting on me. Okay, the laws that are applicable to me as the actual victim and the individual in my case. Okay, so I am up against a hate alliance. They are intentionally blocking me out. So, and yeah, it's just been frustrating not to give up. And they know too. They actually know that the victims are suffering, and they have made the decision to ignore it. But I have not found anything I've gone through, something that I've, it's a good thing. It's a very bad thing, and I'm opposing it, and I don't have a problem exposing my cases to make sure that these people are made accountable regardless. But if people within, if lawyers and that do serious breaches, they do lose their jobs, okay? Their license is taken away from them, or if they get caught with something, they are definitely charged, and some of them do go to prison, but then they are actually using the laws to protect themselves, but in saying that, they've just left the victim, in this case myself, live in limbo and just not being able to go forward. Okay, so we're dealing with white collar crimes and blue collar offences, the same thing. But this post I put together just recently because it kind of really speaks volume from my perspective to describe what I have gone through historically. Okay, and guess what? The actual evidence in the moment actually proves everything I'm saying. Okay, so they've actually did a scientific experiment on me where after they studied me, they glued me to the opposing allies. Okay, so they glued their personality to me, and then they're actually secretly stealing or doing the public deception where people think I'm gay, or they're pretending I'm gay, or they're pretending I'm a different nationality or come from a different country. This is where the substitutes all come in. But we're dealing with internal corruption and public corruption. So after the victim's privacy is completely gone, the game involves the victim is actually being used globally for illegal commonwealth, like a product. They don't know it's happening. Well, they do in the moment. Something's radically wrong. They can feel it. Then you get all these people stalking and following and just acting like zombies. Okay, so the signs are definitely there, but as for the victims, in the being used for illegal Commonwealth games or whatever they want to call it, it's actually a very serious life and death situation because you're vulnerable, you can't defend yourself. And whoever is watching and pinning you, you are actually targeted, and they're watching you to commit a crime so they can arrest you and ruin your reputation. If you get what I'm saying? So you do end up losing everything. I felt that that's been the journey they've done, and anything good, as soon as something good happens, they're stealing. Intention. So everything's intentional. But this here is I just put this one recently, just a few days ago. But we're dealing with white collar crimes too. So if you don't know what white collar crime is, I suggest you actually research it. These are mainly names for those in public office or those in public stakeholder organizations or companies where they're actually doing corporate crimes. Okay, so they're using their jobs, they're lying to the customer, they're using their job to interrogate and find out the victim's next move. So blue collar crime is more so for those members of the public on the lower level as far as status is concerned, whether it's professional or just in public, but they are breaking the law. Have a research yourself, find out what these mean. But what these crimes are not actually new in any generation. It's just that right now in this technology generation, it's easy to commit and not get caught because of internal corruption. Everyone is biased and prejudiced, but it is illegal. So I've written down here in the mixed culture, okay. It's funny, I was just, because I put my case together, and because it's all about me, I know exactly where the evidence is and stuff like that. And I had a recording with PSA, Clean Cooper, and also with the Ministry of Justice General Manager, and the Ministry of Justice is a barrister. In that video clip, this guy here, Glenn Cooper, actually said this sentence. So if you guys go on the video is actually out there on my YouTube. I've put it out on social media. He actually said this word here, in the mix. So there's clear evidence. I guess what I'm saying, this here is a clue. Like I knew they were setting me up in the moment. Okay, I knew I was in very serious jury situation at work at that point in time, and that they were trying to get rid of me, and so it took them for like nearly 9 years. But my working condition was very serious. Was very, very serious. But anyway, if you go back and listen to that video clip, it clearly says he actually said something in a conversation in that meeting about something in the mix. And then as time have gone on, and as I look at everything I've gone through, what I have been subject to privately and publicly, it's basically like that. It's all the perpetrators are in the mix. I'm an exploited victim. They've studied me for years. Okay, so it is an advanced, premeditated, organized crime. And when those things happen, these people can premeditate your life in advance, whether it's 3 months in advance, whether it's 6 months in advance, whether it's 1 year in advance, whether it's 2 years in advance. They can actually premeditate every single thing you are doing and take you down financially, set you up for a plot, even a murder plot. And so it is premeditated conspiracy, organized crime. The problem is, unless you've given them permission to do that, they are actually breaking the law, and you don't know who they are. And it's been global, okay? But I put in the mix, and I put culture here. So my personal experience, the white supremacist extremists are groomed. That it's like they've joined forces, okay? They're partnering with each other. I'm the money maker, okay? They know I'm worth a lot of money. If not only that, they also know very serious things have happened, and everything's confidential. But in saying that, I'm also entitled to confidentiality. But they haven't. They've used me. I'm an exploited victim, being used by these people. But they are using the culture, okay? The grooming. I'm describing the illegal Commonwealth game. The victims are actually locked out. So you can have a prominent, powerful job before you know it. You've lost everything, like I have, and or it feels like that because they've exiled you. But these things are not a coincidence. You just need to prove and put everything together. But I can actually prove that, historically, that everyone involved, every single corporate body involved in me privately or within my personal property, are all part of the illegal advance conspiracy. Okay. But I put culture here. So what's happened is this has given other, I'm an islander, so this has given other cultures and nationalities, to see me like an object and use me like a competitor, and they've all just taken turns using me and stealing off me. And they are also branding themselves, okay? So they're degrading their original, so then they can exalt themselves, and make them the better person or the object, for the public to pick. So, but this is just the way that I see it, how I've been treated. So they have used me for branding and relationship scams, same method. And this is where the relationship scams come in. Okay, so they did do it. It's a personal experiment on victims, okay? They are treating me like an animal. They've taken away my Bill of Rights. So my case is definitely where they've taken a person's liberty away. So when a person's liberty is taken away like they've done to me, and they've done to, the current incident is Henry Cavill, his liberty is taken away too after being used publicly and in his career, and then he got derailed, and a very similar case like mine, but a very different set of circumstances. Okay, he is a successful actor, definitely, also worth a lot of money, but he, behind the scene, he has also suffered greatly, to the point where he ended up fighting for his own life. And then as time went on, it was quite clear his liberty was taken away, and that's what the evidence will actually show. But as soon as somebody's liberty is taken away, that is an automatic criminal case. So the victims are locked out. So it's very likely, if you're going through anything I'm going through, it is very likely you are locked out. Okay? So the danger of being locked out is those in corporate bodies or serving you may possibly be lying to you or withholding information or giving you misleading information, so you can't go forward. And this is very stressful on any customer or anyone that just wants to, just go get on with things, and then you end up, or even use the police to lodge complaints and they do nothing. Those are all clear signs that you are locked out. Okay, so what I suggest you do is do exactly what I am doing and build up a case, okay, against the corporate body. Take note of everything. Just do everything that you are doing. This includes for your businesses. Record everything and build up a case against the body corporate or whoever, because it's actually quite easy to sue them and actually press criminal charges once there is sufficient evidence, undeniable sufficient evidence, that an individual is a locked out individual where her liberty is gone. Okay, so then in any generation, it is illegal to take somebody's liberty away, and that is something that I learned when I was working for my job in the Department of Courts. When I used to do murder cases or, put those kind of cases together, it's quite clear, anything like that, if the person gets murdered or after the fact they're dead, it's quite clear that the individual's, it's corporate body, corporate crimes. So they all can still get charged according to the law after the fact, even if the victims don't make it, okay? You need to put your cases together. I actually really, really hate the system, okay? I hate it. I really do. I have not found anything funny. They're monitoring me, pinning me down, and then they walking around in my environment trying to act normal, but they're not normal. Some days are worse than others, but yeah, it's still not fair because I just want to go forward. But it is a lockdown situation, and whoever is doing the lockdown always wants to have the upper hand, okay? And that's not all they're doing. They're interfering in your private life. They're stealing my relationships, interfering in my love life like I'm not allowed to have a love life. But it's all to do with money, obviously, okay? But I haven't given anybody permission, the authority, to do what they've done to me or to use me like they have. So during my journey, I noticed these people come out with yellow cars. I've actually been coded yellow. And I kind of, like everything, I just put two and two together. But part of the criminal scientific experiment that happened to me while I was working for my employer, so all this puts the government in trouble, is because the illegal scientific experiment is so intimate, so personal, they'll just use different people all the time. So that tells me that the mastermind of the game is still about, because they haven't left the crime scene. Some people have passed away and died, and others have just continued the game. Why are they doing that? Quite obviously, it's because they know I'm a victim and they don't want anything to, legally to be confirmed. So that's what I'm up against. But anyway, I'm still going with it. Just one moment. Okay, so it is definitely a discrimination case. They have discriminated me intentionally. But if you go into your human rights and have a look, in the human rights in this section here, it clearly actually explains what is discriminated. Okay, what is prohibited grounds of discrimination. If you don't know what that means, it means it's forbidden, okay? So this here is forbidden to do what they've done to me to any human being. I can confirm to you I wasn't born with a tail like I'm a dog, okay? I'm a definitely a human being, and I have a very strong soundness of mind, so there's nothing mentally impaired about my mind or anything like that. But if you go in there, as if you work for a government or if you're an individual, to know your rights, just go through that list, okay? So these are all the things that are prohibited grounds of discrimination. It means it's forbidden, okay? So it's forbidden. So you can't discriminate anyone because of their sex, which includes pregnancy or childbirth, okay? Marriage status, which means whether you're single, married, or civil union, or in a de facto relationship. So all the things on this list is forbidden. So if any corporate body or anybody in government or anyone discriminates an individual from being able to use the laws or the court or get justice, or even if they just come in your space and make you feel like you're a slave or something like that, they're breaking the law, okay? So if you go through all this, they are breaking the law. So it's forbidden even to discriminate anyone for their religious belief or ethical belief. Just go through it. If you can't read English, get somebody who understands English to read it and interpret it to you. You can't. It's forbidden to actually discriminate anyone for their color, their race. Just go through the list, or physical disability or impairment. So if you can't get a job because you're being discriminated, because I'm definitely discriminated, locked out, blacklisted. These are all the things that the corporate bodies are forbidden. It's prohibited. So if there's sufficient complaints from customers that corporate bodies or government agencies are doing this, then they are forced to shut down, and then they're forced to change. So, make the difference by complaining and do what I'm doing, and just don't give up. Read your circumstances correctly, but the law are there for the very reason to protect a individual's liberty, to be a slave for anyone. Okay, no one is a slavery. Any kind of slavery is a crime. Okay. So go through that. I felt that was important. This also includes employment status, everything. Like these tells you exactly what is forbidden. Okay. So what I have found with what I've gone down with being pinned by the opposing allies is that they are fault finding me. They're not only just pinning me down, watching me, they're watching your every move. So then they can fault find you and put a case against you. That is what they have done to me when I was working for my employer. Okay, that is the evidence I can prove. So I'm entitled to sue them and press criminal charges at any point of time. Okay, there's sufficient evidence there. So all these things here, family status, which means it's forbidden. Okay, so it's forbidden having responsibility for part-time care, full-time care of children or other dependents, or having no responsibility, stuff like that. These are all the things that corporate bodies, the government, individuals serving or public sectors. Okay, I'm talking even about public sectors. And while they've been micromanaging me and using their jobs to micromanaging me, that is forbidden too. Okay, so these corporate bodies can all be done for conspiracy because they're all participating in discriminating a person or turning someone into a slave or making my life into a game to steal. Okay, it's forbidden. Okay, so it's a criminal case. These are other things here. Look, it says sexual orientation. Okay, we're living in a generation, we don't know who's normal anymore. We've got gay people, we got people changing their sexes, we've got a lot of weird people out there, and I'm just speaking the truth because I'm a straightforward person. Okay, but all these things here it forbids anyone to even discriminate them. Okay, I've got gay family, I've got gay friends that I've worked with, and I'm a Christian. Even when I was working with them, my attitude is none of my business what they do in their private life. Okay, to me, what people do in their private life, that is their business. Their sin doesn't affect me. My concern was my own in the minute, what I'm responsible for in the moment, not to break the laws. And so I'm just using that as an example. The world has changed, and you won't survive if you stay sheltered and not stay in tune with the changes. But this is the 2025 century. But that is my attitude. I got family members who are gay and even lesbian, and then I've worked with people that too. But my attitude is is as far as that is concerned, I mean, they're actually nice people. A lot of people, I've got some really good friends, and in the work environment, what people do in their private business is their private business. And what I do in my private business is my private business, but it hasn't been private. Okay. Instead, people have dug up my past to use against me. They've interfered in my private life, caused other alliances to form an alliance to conspire against me, and endangered myself and everyone else. Whose fault is that? Unfortunately, it falls on my government or the people I was working with at that point of time. They're at fault. So all these things here, doesn't matter what kind of business you are doing, if the law says it's forbidden, it's forbidden. You can't discriminate anyone for any reason whatsoever. Okay, because they can sue you. Okay, if you've hurt somebody, if you discriminated somebody because you're biased or prejudice, this includes if you use your fiduciary duty, if you're a court registrar or a police officer, they can sue you. Okay, anyone can sue you if you treat them differently. And even when I was working for the government, I never Bible bashed or anything. I minded my own business. I just went in there, did my work, and went home. And that's what work is all about. But in saying that, my job now is in big trouble because of what they've done to me, and they know it. But they're still protecting me. Okay, so I do know that that they are. They have to watch over me because they know they're wrong. And so go through that, and I thought this is actually important. I had it on my heart to talk about going through that. This is actually the human rights, okay? Now, the other thing that I have found here. So what I have actually found is I always wondered why they were choosing yellow, okay? So yellow to me is like I'm definitely a confirmed victim that secretly has already been exploited. They already know who I am. So the system now is set out where they're secretly getting agents to represent our cases. This is my suspicion, my reason of belief, why I've gone through what I've gone. I have a reason of belief agents from I don't know where are representing me secretly, privately in my court cases without me knowing or permission, and then they write their unlawful strikes. Even though while I'm in court having an original hearing, telling and showing the evidence, 100% accurate, that everything's accuracy because it's my truth, only to have the unlawful strikes. So that is the best way I can explain it or make sense why the judges are making unlawful strikes. Okay. The other reason is also that in the middle, the judges are not getting the evidence. So when I go to send my documents, in the middle, somebody is removing the evidence. Maybe their family member, they're hiring themselves into jobs to make sure that the evidence is sabotaged or to hear the evidence. So that's what they're doing. They're using the call centers. And this is where the in the mix, the last video clip I showed you guys, sorry, I've taken it off. But yeah, the culture. So in the mix. So this is the worst kind of conspiracy ever known to humankind, okay? The reason why is because in the mix, it actually means they've messed up my profile. Everybody's everywhere. They're destroying evidence in between. So then they're committing the crime, leaving the crime scene, to protect each other, using different people all the time in the mix. And then they leave, and then when people actually go and investigate what happened to the victim, the evidence is deleted, the evidence is changed, removed, no longer exists, but it did happen. Get it? So it's the worst kind of conspiracy on the face of the earth, and they have used relationship scams, like what I've been talking about. So here, this is the Crimes Act, okay? Acceleration of death, okay? So I've been glued, and I know also that my families have all, what I've gone through, they too have been glued. Like when I was at Church of Christ, Pastor King was being glued, okay? And then secretly, without them knowing, while I was working for my employer. This is my evidence in the moment. This is what I witnessed while I was working. And I couldn't confirm it until like later on after the fact, and I can actually absolutely 100% swear on the Bible that they were doing what they did to me, like the relationship scam with those in the original within my space for the purpose to take over the church or take over my personal space. Eventually, everyone within that are original that I was once upon a time close or friends with are either disappeared or dead, or something has happened that they can't find them, something like that. So it's that kind of a conspiracy. So when investigators actually go and investigate, they actually have to go and undo and find out what actually happened to all the originals, okay? The unfortunate reality is the ones that can be easily conspired against is the European culture. The European culture is very different, and I guess I'm very much like that because I was brought up in the culture where they're very independent, and so you guys are in danger, and anyone, it can be easily expired, just like a sitting duck, and don't know what's actually going, because they're internal. Okay, it's internal corruption. It's global. They're just using the misuse of devices. They can even kill somebody and do this switch, or maybe a mother's going to have a baby, and then they'll get somebody else next door who's going to have a baby around the same time, and then they can do the switch. So this is my personal experience in my life with the illegal scientific experiment, illegal Commonwealth game. People have been using me secretly, and they're stealing. Okay, but the people that is being used as a substitute is being groomed. So obviously I'm the original, Henry's the original. I'm still using him and I's situation as an example of relationship scams, what they've done to us historically, but they've done this to me historically, and there's clear evidence of all that. But they are stealing. They're confidently coming out when I'm by myself doing it. And so yesterday I went out and I actually been recording, and I put it on my YouTube channel. I've kept it private, but I'm doing that every single time, guys. So, but it's like when I went out on my last trip, there was they hardly came out. So I know my public, video clips and everything is working, and the right people are now on board to do with what's going on with me. So thanks for that. Okay, so this is what everyone has used me for globally. That is illegal, all right? Using someone like a human hard drive and for a relationship scam, that's illegal, 100% illegal. Yep, I can confirm they've used me like a human lottery or a generator. That's illegal. And for this illegal scientific scientific experiment to even be successful, and for people to do what they've done to me illegally, or historically, even to Henry Cavill, is that we both have to be trapped in our situation, and that's quite clear. And then all the false illusion and deception, this is where the lying of other the deception with the relationship scam and that going on by secret societies using the misuse of devices. So, and then all the act of deceiving, but they actually do intend on stealing everything and giving it to somebody else. Oops. So just a reminder for those watching me or new on board, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the actual original. So I'm dealing with my personal property with my profile, and now there's sufficient evidence to prove that all these women were used in my personal profile as the persons or the females that I'm being animated against or used. They are being used. And then other secret societies are using them. It's very likely that they could too be animated, their friends and family. But this is the danger of doing what people are doing and not saying no, because you're getting yourself involved in things you know nothing about. But the people that are responsible behind the scene are different. They call themselves agents. They're branding the people. There's something in it for these women, okay? But they're actually feeding or grooming them to give them some kind of a hope or something or rather, at the same time causing a division and causing lies and deception, and it's illusion. So I've gone on actually denouncing all that. The most recent one is Amy Denton. She sent me a video clip and I listened to it, and I've had to put that on my Facebook page. I showed it to Henry, and Henry just says, just denounce it, denounce everything. And so I'm doing that as time goes on, because it's my right to. So just yesterday I was listening to her most recent one. She's got a female adult talking.
And the Ten of Cups.
This is it, yeah.
You even say there's marriage there with the justice and the contract. By contract, you two being with the justice card, being married by law.
This is really serious.
Well.
It's not even funny what they're doing.
With the Seven of Swords, again, with the Eight of Cups. That may be in the distance. I don't think she's on her own. I think she does have someone around her, a companion of sorts, if that's what you want to put it. But she is walking and leaving things behind, because she knows it's over with the Ten of Swords. And what she's also realising as well is that all her secrets are being spilt. And she's walking away before any more can be spilt out, before any more damage is done to her reputation. So that's what's happening at the moment just for you. I'll send you another one in a minute with regards to you and Henry, and then I'll do one with the Kipper card.
Okay, I don't want to waste my time on this video clip, okay? I believe it's just a criminal tactic.
For you and let you know. Regards to Henry, he's been but what you find is that you both give each other strength, and that the truth is coming out with the Ace of Swords. It is definitely coming out. Like I said, I don't think it got much longer. In the month of April, an air sign, and saw the 21st of May, but I think you do start maybe a week before that. So I really don't think you've got that much longer to wait, to be honest with you. And to be looking ahead with the Two of Wands, to be looking ahead with a bright future, you've got the world in your hands, you're trusting your intuition, and the end result is the Ten of Cups. With you, with your happy family, with Henry, with the home, and of course with the Eight Cups, you're walking towards a bright future, towards the stars, leaving the past behind, and you've got Henry by if you want to describe Henry as a dolphin, but the dolphin is
okay, I don't want to waste my time on this, but go on to YouTube. This is her video clip, okay? She's my competitor, like the other women. Okay, so I can confirm still that hasn't changed. Don't look at what I'm talking about as like a female fighting over a man and stuff like that. This is not even what I'm trying to get you guys to get in your mind. This is a conspiracy tactic by secret agents. The danger is global. Okay, so these people are grooming this female. This is her name. Her new name, she changed it. She did use her other name, Amy did her own name, but these people here are sponsoring, you know, somebody is the spot. She's been sponsored by other people. She's been supported by other rich musicians. So, you know, musicians are actually making songs and lyrics responding to her or reference to her. So it's this is the new age gaming global commonwealth money laundering system by the rich people. So we're talking about millionaires, top singers. But I don't know anything much about this female personally, other than she has been an annoying kind of a person publicly, because I don't know who she is personally, other than her video clips and always, going on about Henry. Henry's sick of it, but he is not, definitely, I swear it, he's not with this female, but she is being groomed. If you look from the criminal point of view, she's a little girl, okay? Henry's not into little girls. And I find it very offensive that people are grooming her and deceiving the public and using my family. But it is a criminal tactic. According to the law, it is definitely 100% a criminal tactic. And also the fact that she is being groomed, or by somebody, whoever is pretending to be Henry. It is definitely not the real Henry, okay? It's definitely not. His mother doesn't even know who she is. But these people are using devices to actually create evidence. Okay, so that's why I have to denounce everything. So for those that are actually watching my cases, but go on to that. I don't want to waste my time talking about her, because I believe it's also just another tactic to be famous. But these kind of tactics is very serious and dangerous. So don't forget that someone tried to kill Henry. I went through the same thing too while working for my employer. So basically what I'm proving as a reality and a revelation really globally, this is why, okay? But so I'm denouncing it because both Henry and I wants to denounce everything because it's not true, okay? Honestly, I'm just sick of it. It's immature. But she's been groomed by other singers, because they're making money of it. Maybe they're just making money off it for themselves. But when you're actually creating a conspiracy tactic and deceiving the public involving innocent civilians that are actually fighting for their life, example, the original, and they haven't given you permission to do that, that's illegal, okay? I put a recent clip of, this is actually the real Henry.
It's Sunday morning, and I'm sitting in my garden with very morning hair. My garden hungry.
Okay, just go into that video clip on my Facebook page, but according to the law, historically, this is what I'm being used for, and I'm in my own right as a self-defense to expose the lies and tackle it head on immediately. But it is definitely a conspiracy offences by global agents or whoever is sponsoring her. So just keep in mind, everybody, that I've been used globally for Commonwealth Games. I'm the victim, and they're doing what they're doing to me without my consent. And then they're sabotaging my court cases. So I hope you'll get the picture. So keep in mind, there's several perpetrators already in my cases. They've all just joined forces secretly. We've got Natalie Vasquiso and her gang linked to the government. So we've got people in government linked to her. Then we got this Miss Denton, who I don't know, I don't know whereabouts she is. I assume she's in USA too, in London somewhere. And so somebody is grooming her, pretending to be, with Henry. And then I'm over here in New Zealand, and but no one actually, I can confirm, no one knows where the original Henry Cavill is. Only of just maybe one or two people, but he is really private right now, and he is definitely not actively out in public. A lot of the videos that's out about him is actually old videos that have been republished and used to create evidence to deceive. But Amy Denton, sorry girl, but you've been groomed, you've been used. Henry does not know you, and that's illegal what they're using you for. But that is definitely you're talking to an imposter. They call it micromanaging, but it's actually criminal organized crimes. Okay, so it is organized crime, okay, global bodies, okay, we're talking about body corporates globally. So this is an international game, okay. The evidence in the moment is quite clear about that, okay. So that comes under the Crimes Act, and that's called participation in organized criminal group. This has to do, she's been used because of my court cases, okay? The recent update is I've got cases still pending at the courts. The people are sabotaging me because they don't want to compensate me, okay? I've already won, and what they're doing to me is very serious case. So I'm contesting that while I'm doing that, and these women are actually linked to my court cases, okay? But I believe this is why the judges are making unlawful strikes. But that is a criminal tactic by secret societies or different countries, or by those in government who are actually secretly conspiring and using those kind of strategy, okay, to win, okay, because they don't want to lose, because it means defeat. To turn everything around. So I hope you'll get the picture. But according to the law, it's called participation in organised criminal group. That is 10 years imprisonment. So yes, corporate bodies can be charged, whether they're incorporate or corporate bodies. If you don't know what incorporate means, incorporate is for those that don't have a license to actually operate. For example, my YouTube channel, it's an incorporate, but it's still legal. But in the legislation, they call incorporate. So if you are an incorporate corporate body or a corporate is usually people with a license. If your people and your businesses are involved and linked to anything to do with me or Henry, you are participating in criminal corporate crimes, and they are treated just like a normal individual, and you can get fined or sued or go to prison or both. Okay, so I'm just making that clear. Miss Amy Denton, you're definitely on the wrong side, okay? You are being used, you are being groomed by rich people who are just only using you to deter, to ruin somebody innocent's life. And then we've got, Natalie Vasquiso acting innocent, trying to deceive. So it's quite clear that some very powerful people are playing games with innocent civilians using their relationship scam. So I am denouncing all that, and that's what Henry and I decided I should do every time it happens, keep everything in the moment. I did take a video clip of my trip today when I go out on the bus, and there, I did I've talked in some of it. There wasn't that many people that came out today. I try and keep, when I go out, I try and do things random so then I don't get stalked. But people still are stalking me when I do go out. And that just tells me it's whoever is surveillancing me is liable for criminal charges for espionage, because these people don't have natural powers, okay, or any supernatural power to know where the victim is or where their ally is to go and do criminal activities. All right. Okay, so some of these agents, they're in our space, and all they need to do is just text, communicate with anyone around the world, have their people and in sight, and they're in your space. So nobody is safe, okay? So if you go through the laws, and you can see how much they charge. So as far as the laws are concerned, imprisonment. But yeah, no one is actually free to do whatever they want to do. But that is the only thing you can do, is actually protect yourself by knowing the laws and dealing with it, and build a case against the opponent. Okay, this is Henry. This is the most recent photo of what he looks like, right? And yeah, I have already said on my Facebook page that if we broke up romantically, that I will actually make a public announcement, but I can confirm that nothing has changed. So I'm within my right to protect him and to denounce anything that's a lie that will ruin him and my relationship. He doesn't need permission of who he wants to date. I don't need permission of who I want to date either. And we both don't, we're both that private. It doesn't matter what our family or friends says. We are our own person. We know, but this game that I've gone through historically, those agents or those doing the monitoring are using their job to contact people's family members, and then they all get involved in something and they don't even know what they're getting involved in, and next minute things backfire, and then there's definite home invasion taking place. But this here is what he looks like. He's my best friend, and I just love him so much. And I know that our relationship is like really special, and he is definitely a one-man woman. We're very compatible and in so many ways. So our relationship is real, and it is what it is at the moment, but we know people are trying to split us up, and also have tried to kill both of us in the moment. That's another reason why I'm doing the public deception. And I think those in the criminal mind or criminal field know exactly what I'm going through. But basically, I believe God is just using both of us to reveal the new age conspiracy crimes committed by prominent people across, you're talking about globally. You're talking about China attacking one individual, or Indians, the Hindu religion attacking one individual, or I'm talking about the Aotearoa, attacking one individual, or that's how I felt. Okay, I'm not biased or prejudiced. But from the victim's point of view, I have to describe what everyone has done to me. There are other nations and countries like the Tongans, are doing it. It's like they're doing each other a favor to conspire to destroy somebody or eliminate somebody, because they're trying to protect their jobs or help each other from winning and not go to prison or whatever it is they're doing. But it's illegal. Okay, I have to describe everything, and just because these defendants, these women, they don't represent your country, they don't actually represent everyone. And just because, like a Christian, if a Christian is, let one person, let their people down, they don't represent everybody else. Okay, the point of the matter is, We are all individuals. We're born individuals. I wasn't born in an environment where people are a slave. Okay, because I know a lot of rich people, millionaires, billionaires, they use slaves. Okay, so they buy slaves or maids, they call them, and they pay people, use their money to do the work. I've come from a culture and an environment where I've done everything myself, like literally everything myself. So you can guarantee that my evidence is accurate. I'm not perfect, okay? But when it comes to my personal journey, my testimony, and my real life facts, you can guarantee it's 100% correct. But Henry is not communicating with anyone outside at all. He has no intentions of going back to work very soon, maybe later. I don't know. Everything is up in the air at the moment. But I'm denouncing all this to protect him and myself, and also for his court cases. But I hope you all can understand where I'm coming from, that I've actually been used like a generator. Okay, and that also explains why some people are in my space. Maybe they're in my space trying to help me or save me, because a lot of people are watching my video clips and can see that what I'm going through is very, very serious. But it hasn't, like, it's just living in limbo is dangerous. And that's what that is what has happened to me. And I've tried everything to try and go forward, but they are stealing. They are stealing intentionally in the moment. But I'll leave it at that because this video's gone longer than I've wanted it to. And I will update you guys with my court cases as I deal with things and taking one day at a time. Okay, just living in the moment. Okay, guys, so this is the New Age system. It's like Game of Thrones, really. These women or the men used, it's all about who's the king or the queen kind of a thing. I'm not even into that kind of thing, to be totally honest. But to some cultures, any kind of game that is for free, they will participate, and they don't care about any laws. And some of these cultures and some of these religions are quite barbaric and it actually opposes the law in so many aspects, but it is illegal, all right? But that's the kind of thing I've been up against. So trafficking in person cases and then gradually stealing, it's 20 years imprisonment. Okay, so it's quite clear that people have taken advantage of me and ruined my reputation and trying to make out that I'm the one with the mental disorder, I'm the enemy, I'm the one that is crazy. But I think I've convinced so many people around the world that I'm definitely not the one that is mentally disordered. But that is what the scientific experiment does. And the person that are glued to you, they mean business. Okay, they do intend on killing an innocent civilian secretly. Okay, so that's what the twinning is. One is the right person, and then the other one is the evil person. And the evil person is doing the stealing and the killing. And so whoever is following this alliance are doing the killing and secretly sabotaging globally. Okay, so it sounds scary. I used to watch horror movies when I was a kid, and just for the thrill of it. But, I don't actually like all of them, but I used to watch horror movies for the thrill of it. But my personal experience, what I've gone through, it's been like a horror movie, but a real life one. But it's really easy for me to put together. Time has passed by. I'm healed. And I'm strong enough to actually deal with this in the criminal jurisdiction, whichever way God allows my case to go. But I have not felt to give up. But this here is the best way to explain it. They can even do this to your children, all right? So you need to keep an eye on your kids. You're talking about other cultures and other people different and opposite to you. So no one is safe, okay? Okay, so this is what it looks like from a victim's point of view, all right? It's horrible. I really can't explain how horrific it is. Okay, so it's 100% home invasion. They've literally glued themselves to my soul. That's illegal. Doesn't matter what generation it is. This should never have happened to me for a long period of time. There's no excuse for it. And there's nothing in my personal property that I've actually condoned or agreed for anyone to do this to me. Yes, relationship scams is one of it. So if you're a godly couple, protect yourselves. But the perpetrator or the other woman or other man, unfortunately, that was my discovery. I haven't been in many relationships. In fact, only 3. Henry's the 3rd one, like serious relationship. And unfortunately the last one and the other 2, they were definitely used by the opposing allies, using them and then trying to use my religion for better or for worse to force me or keep me enslaved as if I am their property. But that my first husband is not a well person. He's not he's very sick, but he doesn't have the money to do what I've gone through. But the evidence can show that other people have used him or groomed him in the past. And that goes for also my second relationship. And he also is used and groomed by the opposition, linking to all the other relationship scams. They've all just joined forces and supporting each other. The singers that are also supporting them are also, what would you call it? They are also a party to a crime. But I'm not into cheating. As soon as someone cheats, that's the end of that. And that's just me. I don't like being forced. I don't believe in for better or for worse. And I'm quite evident on reason why I'm not into that. Because it's not for everyone. Okay. And but this game that I've gone through, other religions, other cultures globally are using people's personal private business to keep them enslaved, and then they're moving through them, plus using the misuse of devices. That's really serious, okay? Because they are secretly stealing. Yes, I've been used for individual relationship scam. Okay, it's global, guys. I get threats, sound effects from global. They're using their planes to let me know when they're angry. I just know. Okay, so I have to do what I'm doing to help everybody else, because that shouldn't be happening, but it is. So don't get involved, mind your own business, and I will just keep my evidence in the moment so everyone knows. So in my case, definitely criminal liability is what my case is all about. I mean, all the body corporates involving my cases, they can all be done for participating in organised crimes. And espionage is still illegal. It's 14 years imprisonment. A definite case of demolishing of a human being. Okay, there's a specific law here. You can charge body corporates for everyone in their business who have participated in discriminating a person. So they've actually stolen somebody's life historically. I'll leave it at that. This is one of my favorite verses, and the verse says, The Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. So if you are feeling confined or incarcerated, this verse here clearly articulates that no one should actually feel like they are enslaved or incarcerated, okay? So if you don't feel you feel free, that you can do whatever you want, whatever it is that that you usually do, you can't do anymore, and that is not, you're not breaking the law. The system actually is specifically attacking people from, freedom of speech, just being their own personality. Some people are too scared to do freedom of speech or just be themselves because they're scared that they will get discriminated or somebody will do something to use it against them, because that is what they're doing. But you must keep in mind that these people are also still humans, so they could be breaking the law just by spying on you. That's a privacy breach. So you need to prove that they've damaged your reputation, or they've stopped you from advancing, or discriminated you, or your Bill of Rights is not being used. You can still take those people who has suppressed you, incarcerated you, stop you from doing what you're doing. For example, churches, they like to, speak freely about the gospel of Jesus Christ or whatever. What they've done to me historically, they actually dug up my past to use against me. Okay, because they were fault finding, and but they went too far. Like, it's too far when you dig up somebody's past and then endanger, and especially if there's been an invasion, people eventually are hurt or murdered or disappear. That's a conspiracy. So, even though these people do have all those things like the technologies, they've got the authority, you are still within your right to protect yourself as an individual and protect your business. But it's just a matter of yourself building a case against them. If they're abusing you, causing you stress, hurting you, harming you, if they're lying to you, all that can be, used against them for misleading information. But get to know your laws, because they too have laws that they have to abide to. And if they're not doing that, like, for example, customers, when a client goes to a corporate body and their customers do nothing, they, leave the person stranded, or don't give them information or help them, or they're lying to them, or giving them misleading information and making them waste their time, you can actually sue them for stress or anything like that, just like what they are secretly doing from spying on people. They're misinterpreting what people are saying, or misinterpreting their acts. Sometimes people do things because it's their culture. It's not a crime, okay? So everybody's culture is different, but it's just a matter of you actually proving that they are in the wrong, and that they've done harm to you, or damage, or caused some kind of, or they've caused some kind of misfortune or loss to you, okay? So it's basically ascertaining what is natural and what is organised. I have also found another reason why I'm being discriminated also is because everybody already knows who I am. Pardon me. So I haven't been able to go forward, and they are following me, and they are sowing seeds of discord. Other times I have felt, oh, God's with me, because somebody else is like, when things go smoothly and nothing happens, then I just realize, all right, that's God. Other times I've just known somebody's undermined me, but that somebody is going around sowing seeds of discord, or they are also coding and inciting, so they already know in advance that it's you. They know your plans, and they can easily make things difficult for you. So read your circumstances differently, and I hope my video clips are helping you all. I'll leave it at that.